Good evening, people. Chris FE here, and tonight I have another camera to look at. Don't need to strip this one down. It's an issue with the lens. Now I'm not sure if you can see this, but the owner of this camera has said that there has been a slight deformation when he drops it onto the lens. I'm going to see if I can actually bring it into. There's 3 scratches on the lens. It's not going to make for good viewing, I don't think. No, try and get it in, might be able to see it. No. Let's have a look, see if I can see it, get it in. It's very difficult to try and capture it. Might be better off afterwards, but the you can't actually see it there. But there's 3, if I look under here, I can see 3 pinpricks right in the middle. You might be able to just make them out roundabout. If I point them out to you where you're looking, if the video is 1, 2, put it this way around, this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Anyway, so this is basically what sits inside there. We went through that in a previous video. There's some little damage here where the camera's been damaged on the sides, or scratch marks, but apart from that, it all works. It's not reading the SD card here, so I actually formatted 2 cards. My 64 gig, which I was using, which works in my P9, and an 8 gig one, which I removed from my dash cam, which I formatted, which is garbage on there, and it still wouldn't read it for some reason. So I cleaned up the inside the socket, and just in case there was any debris left over, I actually used this sort of stuff. It's not actually advertised, but it's basically non-flammable solute detective duster, and basically it actually blasts out cold air. Well, just air really. It's just pure air, rather than using your. It gets a nice little jet on it, and you don't want to leave it too long because it does freeze, and you can cause condensation inside. But it's just to get in those little crevices where there might be a bit of dust hiding. And I used just used a little rag with some tiny bit of solvent on it, and pushed that in with a little pair of tweezers into the slot, try and clean it out. Didn't work, so I've sent a message to see if there's anything wrong, because it may have been sort of done in transit, but here you go. So onto the crux of the matter, to try and replace this end lens here. This one I've already removed it, and basically what you have on here is an end screw plate with some little deformations. You might be able to make that out. There's one here, one here, and one here, and if I turn it over the other way, you can't see anything, so it goes that way down. But that sits in the end, and you might be able to see it there. There's just one there, there, and one along here. Where you can actually put in. They've probably got a special tool they can use, but you have these 3 little. Well, I wouldn't call them gaskets. I would say little. Well, washers, but they're obviously anti-vibration things to stop the thing winding out, sort of grip. And this is the lens, which is good. I've taken it out of here, and I've just wrapped it in this to keep it protected, because this is one that's going in, and these 3 rings here sit inside of this ring, and then the whole thing pops in, screws in, and then the retainer clip sits on outside. So what I have done already is I have started this one, so I shall just look under my lens and make sure that it will spin. And there we are. So that's it, it's started now, and I'm winding it out as we speak. Let's get that out. And you have to wind the lens out also, because what you'll find on here is you have some screw threads on that too, yeah? So you have to, that might be a bit tougher to get out, if I remember rightly. So this retainer ring will come out first. And if you've got any major deformation on this, it might be a bit of a tight squeeze to get it out. But we'll see. It could be a bit rough and ready with this one because it's damaged anyway. And see how we get on. Yep, she's getting a bit tighter there. She's getting to that. Yeah. Try not to do any more damage than I have to. That is getting tight there. Right, let's see if I can pop. There's a few more to go, I think. Yep, a few more. Please bear with. This is in real time. And I think that's ready to come out. And there she is. She popped out. I might see which one of these is better and put the better one of the two in. I'll have a look at that later. Actually, it feels... I think it is metal, but yes, I think it is. So there we are. We have down to the we have some other little nicks in there which I can get into. Not sure if you can see that. Must be not. So please bear with. Try this one now. Yeah, this really is tight. It really, really is tight. This fella. Just going to try and use a bit more. Yeah, she is tight. She's very, very tight there. I had the other one on the other side, so I'm going to use another tool to try and get that out. Something with a bit more gut. So it looks awful, but she will come out. I think that's it. She's cut loose there. Try and get the other one right on the other side. There we are. So it is not for the faint-hearted. It looks a bit Heath Robinson. It would be a lot better if I had the proper tool to do it. But again, this has been in there since day one. And she's turning nicely now. And I should be able to start turning that with my fingers now. As you can see. Perhaps this way is better. So... see, so I think as she just starts to bounce there, that means she's going to pop out. Just come on. She wants to come out. Maybe I have to. There we are. And it's all looking pretty clean inside, such as the sealing of it. It doesn't look. There's no dust in there. Now I don't want to keep this open any more longer than I have to. So it looks like one of the seals have stayed inside. Yes, they have. And I might just have the... have I got the black ring? No, it looks like all the rings have stayed inside. Now let's compare the two. Looks pretty good. Make sure I put the good one back in. So, yeah. This is the bad one, or the one that's been slightly damaged. All the rings have been left inside, as I said. You might be able to see that with the whiter ring inside with the two translucent ones sitting in situ. So, the danger is that when you put the new one back in, any dust that may be sitting around there may fall inside. And what you don't want to do is have it sitting inside on the camera lens. So I shall just blue it slightly with a bit of, make sure it's all, yes, this is quite powerful. This side. Yep, that looks alright. Now I'm just going to give it a wipe around. Slight speck in there. I'll probably get that off of my finger. Yep. Off my finger there. Yep. Let's have a look inside. Doesn't look too bad at all. So, That's definitely the bad one because I can see the 3 points on it. I'm not sure if you can. Nope. Let's get this one in. Let's make sure that's nice and clean on the side, which it is. I've kept it well protected. There's no. Make sure that nice as polishes. Have a look again. Could do with a bit more, I think. Don't leave anything on that because it's going to go inside. Any smears will stay there. Get this nice and polished. Get my trusty cloth. Let's have a look. That's looking bang on. So the other cameras I had coming, I was actually I lost out on those. It disappeared off the auction website and appeared about half an hour later saying I'd been sort of outbid. So there you are. That's the story with these things. So that should just drop in there, he said. Not quite like that. Should be a bit level. It's a bit fiddly, this bit. Make sure those washers are sat in. Oh, again, she's cut off on one side. Less haste, more speed, I say. Trying to get my fingers in there. Like a consummate professional I am. That's it there. Right, just want it to catch. Oh, it's dropped again. There we are. Now, when putting this back together again, I'll just check that it is level. Yeah, and then slowly start to rotate it. Don't force it because you don't want it to cross thread. I'm not exactly happy with that myself, so I think it might be yes, just slightly out of level. So I'm going to pop that again. It needs to be level before you start screwing it down. Make sure you can see that. Yeah, it's easy to see there. Just going to pop that around this side without damaging the. There we go, and it just fell into place there. And now I can start screwing it down. Going to clean up the lens obviously as I come in. Just get nice and tight. There we are. It's in there now. Just going to use to tighten this up. Not to put too much force on one side, and then I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Now. Then it's just a matter of putting the retainer ring back in. And I'm going to take a look and see which one's better. To be honest with you, I'm not really sure which one is better. Yeah, doesn't matter. So, what I wanted to do is try and take a photograph of the photograph with that bad lens, or the scratched lens rather. And then take one without the. Take a photograph with a new lens in situ, and just to show the difference. So typical, isn't it? I'm just going to spin that on now. Make sure it's level. Yeah, it looks level. Ooh, no, it's not. Again, make sure that does sit in. That's pretty much it there, and it should screw down nicely. I think it is plastic actually, yeah. Come on. Bit of persuasion. And in she goes. I think this this clip here that I'm screwing in now, this is what the cover will actually clip into, and it adds a bit bit more of a finish to it as well, so I'll get that in there nice and tight. And that, as they say, is that. And now there should be one happy customer, and I'm sure with all the photographs the person's been taking with this camera, I'm sure those 3 points on it will actually stand out like a sore thumb. So yeah, well, that's all changed, and that's it. That's the job done. So with the new lens on, simple as. But again, it does take a bit of force to get the to get it persuaded to start moving. And I wonder if I can actually show that. It really is. You can't really see. No, not at all. I mean, if I can, it might just be able to. Nope. Was there something there? Still got fingerprints on it. Nope. Okay, so the other problem is it's not reading the card. I'll have to take a look at that. No. It says this card cannot be read. And I've tried many times to actually receive the card. I've put it in different cards, and no, not one jot. So, not sure. I'll wait to hear back from the owner to see if he's had any problems. And I can't even get to the menus because it's not allowing me to access anything. It just says the card's not read. Well, I think that's a bit of a shame, really, for the software. You would think maybe the menus could reattempt to format the card once it's in situ, but no, not at all. You can only do that once it can read the card. What's the point of that? I don't know. Looks pretty much the same. And yeah, here's my P9. Now the other little thing I did notice with this camera, the action on this button is really nice and smooth. Whereas on this one, the one I'm actually, was really gritty, and I tried again with my trusted glare thing, clean it out with a bit of very, very fine solvent on this little rag here to try and clean out this wheel a bit. But yeah, so she's been well used, this one, but it's still in good order, and I shall clean it up like you do. Yeah. So anyway, another P9. Slightly repaired, I would say, with the new lens, and that's it's an easy one as far as I'm concerned. No stripping down any connector problems. However, I'm not sure why it's not reading the card. I hope there's no connection issue on there, because that means I would have to take this all off and have a look at that connection to the SD card, which is on the main PCB inside here. Let's hope not. So with that, I shall leave it. Thank you very much, and goodbye.